Hello everyone, welcome to part 2 of this replay between Jimpo and Adelscott here in the Xel'Naga Caverns. Here we have Adelscott, a couple Colossus sitting here, one Observer and some Immortals. We also have some Siege Tanks over here on that low ground, and Jimpo quickly sieging up, able to deal a lot of damage in this whole entire fight. Gonna go ahead and start this replay up once again. One Colossus moving and just gonna be sacrificing himself down to 9 hit points, and there it goes. A loss, just a significant loss there as Immortals are trying to push out, and I cannot imagine why Adelscott is still trying to push in at this stage in the game. Stalkers with blink charge lots, something would have been better than what he's just trying to pressure with at this stage in the game. Perhaps he's thinking that he has a stronger economy going, and he in fact does, and now able to just warp in more and more units, now getting the necessary charge lots. However, currently charge not yet researched. We are getting Psystorm, and we should probably see that Twilight Council being chrono boosted. Where is that Twilight Council? I know it's around here somewhere. Oh, good gosh, I hate doing this. Oh, there it is. Over here to the north, continuing to, it needs to be chrono boosted. Those zealots definitely need that zealot charge in order to get within that 0 distance. Now we see these siege tanks trying to take down these destructible rocks as well. And now the Colossus had a very small window of opportunity to try to take down these siege tanks as they were taking down these rocks. However, Planetary Fortress over here now going to start taking a lot of damage as well. Planetary Fortress will get shot down very quickly as those hardened shields, or sorry, those Immortals able to deal so much damage. There it goes. And now very nicely done. Colossus getting a couple quick kills as well. So joining in on that fight, all these SCVs being transferred over, and Jimpo now in a little bit of trouble as he's only running off of essentially one base. This one base is beyond saturation. You can see that the mineral count, even though it's 77 harvesters, he has less of an economy. However, the Terran player now making a move. Jimpo moving in to try to take down Adelscott's high yield mineral expansion. We do have some high Templars, but not enough energy for Psystorm. Immortals trying to push through. Down goes that Nexus. Zealots, and now feedback onto those medevacs. But will that be enough? These two high Templars should probably try to merge into an Archon in just a moment as those Immortals continue to push through siege tanks, and now this may work, trying to flank from two sides. Zealots do not have that zealot charge, finally engaging it, and now that those zealots have zealot charge, those siege tanks are going to have a difficult time trying to get within that 0 range, and now Jimpo may actually be on the losing end of this fight here. We do have some Immortals to try to clean up the rest of this fight here. Immortals, however, no longer having those hardened shields, and down it goes. So a very, very small army of siege tanks, marauders, and marines, and medevacs. Over here in the center, we have some long distance mining happening from Adelscott. These rocks have not yet been taken down. Adelscott also sitting on a very, very limited number of resources, only 240 army-wise, both sides even, and economy-wise, now both sides even once again. However, this Nexus is up and running, so some probes need to be transferred over there in a hurry in order to take care of that. Now we see siege tanks trying to stair-step their way into this particular location, but there are some high Templars, still not enough energy for a Psystorm just quite yet. Zealots now gonna go ahead and charge after those units over there. Marauders just trying to micro using stim, moving back and forth. Another Zealot being forced to pull back once again. One Psystorm catching one Marine, and you know, just that Psystorm, I guess a Psystorm tears a unit apart. What, I don't know how else to explain how a Psystorm deals damage. Back over here, we do have some Stalkers, and now just sitting in position. A couple Immortals army-wise, both sides still even. Once again, Immortals do have one additional shield upgrade, however, and now that siege tank finally in position and taking some damage as well. Zealots trying to charge in, able to charge. Are we going to get any Psystorms off is the critical question. There's one Psystorm. All those Marauders being forced to pull back another Psystorm, and all of those units getting taken apart. Nicely done with those Psystorm, and that's really going to swing the tide of this battle here. Immortals and Stalkers able to push back, and wow, only 3 of those Immortals down to about 10 to 15 hit points each, unable to, or still able to use stim packs. One of them or 2 of them are, but you don't want to use stim pack when you are that low on health. Back over here, an orbital command in this position. Not quite sure why he didn't throw down a planetary fortress instead. Much more of a defensive play, as now Adelscott running off of essentially 3 bases, while Jimpo is running off of 1.5. Over here, these high yield minerals are the only thing that's keeping Jimpo in this game. Adelscott continuing the chrono boost. You can see the harvester difference because Jimpo is using these mules most likely over here. Yeah, 3 additional mules on high yield mineral, and very, very effective. Calling down a 4th one as well, trying to macro up a very, very large army. Adelscott still has a larger army at this stage in the game, also has better upgrades, I believe, and the siege tanks now trying to push in. Immortals pushing in as well. Zealots trying to use that zealot charge, and now getting within that 0 distance. In comes some Psystorm as well. More of those Marauders and Marines just taking so much damage. Very, very very low on hit points, and I think Jimpo is going to be forced to say GG's, as now there are 5 Zealots just taking down some of these SCVs as well. So Marines, Marauders trying to fight back, but no, the army is just going to be too much. Jimpo having a 2,700 mineral army versus 900. Down goes that orbital command. Planetary Fortress would have been much better at that stage, and Jimpo says GG. So Jimpo versus Adelscott here in the Xel'Naga Caverns, a really strong game, a really strong showing by both players. Adelscott, however, winning off of the macro. So Adelscott able to harvest and get this particular expansion up and running, didn't even bother with the gas, decided that all he really needed was to continue to produce zealots and then start charging into this location, as opposed to trying to go for any higher tier units. Also, I really like the combination that Adelscott using Colossi and High Templars to deal with the infantry. That is one of the standard ways and best ways to deal with mass infantry units. Psystorm and Colossus with that splash damage deal so much damage across so many units that it just exponentially increases their DPS. Jimpo playing a very conservative game. I don't know why he didn't put a planetary fortress here. If he did put a planetary fortress here, all of those zealots that were trying to take down these SCVs would have been taken down. He would have been able to keep his natural expansion or this expansion over here at the high yield mineral location, and perhaps even then not have to do some long distance mining here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed this 1v1 replay between Jimpo and Adelscott. I have another game to cast, so go ahead and stay tuned for that game. I'm sure it's already up by the time I cast this game and by the time you listen to it.